All right. Hi, y'all. Welcome or welcome back. And I am Lisa. I'm live again. Today I'm covering an interesting topic. The topic for today is plus size fashion psychology. And we're talking about elevating an outfit formula. So this one is a lot of fun. With this one, we're going to definitely dive in and talk about a few things. So, have you ever put on an outfit that should work, but it doesn't feel elevated? And then you might see somebody else with similar pieces, but it works. You're like, the pieces are similar. Why does that outfit work? Today, we're breaking down the fashion psychology behind these types of pieces, and you're going to find that it's kind of a yin and a yang or a push and a pull when we're looking at this. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to definitely have a lot of fun with this one. So let's get into it right now and talk about the psychology of elevated style. Did you know there's psychology? There really is, to look a certain way and portray yourself a certain way. So if you want to look more elevated day to day, that doesn't mean it's dressed up or it's not about trends. It's a repeatable formula for your existing, we're going to say existing closet. Let's go there. Okay. Now, when we talk about that, it's not about expensive. Elevated doesn't mean expensive. Basic equals elevated. And I'll get into what I mean by that. So it doesn't mean dressy either. It means that your outfit looks intentional, balanced, and finished. So remember, it's about the impression your outfit gives, and you're put on clothes for some type of impression, I would imagine. What elevated actually means, like I said, is intention. You choose it on purpose. You don't just grab what's clean. It's balanced. The visual weight is distributed evenly and finished. The details are resolved. It's not about price point. It's really about a feeling. And we do want to feel a certain way when we put our clothes on. It's interesting. I did an exercise one time where they asked me, how do you want to feel when you get dressed, and use some adjectives. Do you want to feel powerful? Do you want to feel beautiful? Do you want to feel sexy? Do you want to feel attractive? Whatever it is. Spend some time and think about 3 adjectives, not any noun, just I'm this, or, in an adjective, action word. What do you want to feel? Because feelings give you, it's actionable. So what do you want to feel when you get dressed? That's important. And that's why we talk about elevated today. That's why we're talking about it. So as we get into this, this is the golden ratio of style. And I want to talk about what elevated formula is about. The main idea usually comes from the interplay between boldness and restraint equals elevated. Now, elevated relies on the tension between these two forces, and there is a tension there, and they must support each other, not fight against each other. The boldness is the anchor. So think about it that way. It provides a focal point. It's a statement piece. We've talked about that in other videos. It's a striking silhouette, as an example, or a rich texture that draws the eye, and it grounds the look. I don't know, this look right here this woman has on reminds me a little bit of the look that Michelle Obama wore on Biden's inauguration that went viral. And it was a monochrome look, but it had interest. People paid attention to the belt, how her hair looked, all the things. So there's so many things to dressing, but that was definitely intentional. She looked confident. Um, so when you look at this outfit that this woman has on, she has texture in the pants and the sweater, and even in the coat. It's monochrome, but it's interesting. And then she put on some interesting earrings. And then restraint is the art of subtraction. It's about clean lines, the neutral palette, the minimalist details that allow the bold elements to shine without being overwhelmed. It creates breathing room. Think perfect tailoring or good tailoring, muted tones, and simplified accessories. She looks put together here on the restraint side. Now, when you talk about boldness, you want to have some anchors. One choice that makes an outfit feel designed, it provides visual impact. So here you're looking at a statement coat. This is a nice red maxi tailor type looking coat, a structural bag. And remember, these are things that you could have in your closet or you could get inexpensively through thrifting. I'm growing in appreciation for thrifting. You can get really quality things for a low price. Bold shoe, dramatic earring in any of these, a strong color moment. Definitely, these are your boldness anchors. And then as you look at that, then you have restraint. It's simplifying so that the bold item can shine. Everything you don't do, I should say, simplifying so that the anchor can shine. Fewer colors, clean lines, that's the restraint side. Fewer competing accessories, competing, it says here, not to not, it's not saying do not do. I'm not saying do not do accessories. Less fuss in the silhouette and less but sharper. Keep that in mind. If everything is bold, nothing's bold. That's true. If everything is restrained, it feels flat. Elevated lives in that balance. So here's the 5 formulas. It's a practical example of this framework from basic flat to elevated. Let's talk about it. Formula number 1. Now we're looking at a neutral base plus a statement shoe. Now if you look at the one to the left, to my left side, it's basic. You just have the T. It almost looks like she's going to go gardening, which would be fine for a gardening outfit. But if you're wanting to look more elevated, an example of that here is it's the same outfit, but you put a bold boot. Here's a animal print boot and or a sleek loafer. They have some embellished ones and some really interesting loafers. And why it works is that the shoe becomes the anchor and the neutral clothes act as restraint. So there's those forces pulling against each other, but it makes it interesting here. Now, formula number 2 is monochrome plus texture. And we look at that, we have the all black but thin fabrics. It has no dimension to it, no interest. It's just flat, like chocolate and vanilla. And then you have elevated. Why this one works is that texture is added. You can talk about a leather jacket. They have some feather, faux furs would work here too. Chunky knits, the ones that kind of look like I don't know, they're kind of loop and they're really interesting and they come in interesting colors usually. But even with the same color, you see it adds texture and interest to the outfit. It works because restraint in color allows for boldness in texture. Now, formula number 3, in tailored bottom plus structured layer. So in the previous one, we saw the all black outfit that didn't work. It was flat, and that's where we're talking about no shape, no interest. It just doesn't give you anything to even be interesting, really. And we don't want to hide. You want to accentuate who you are. So that's why we're talking about elevated too. Now, if you add a top plus a bold earring, you can't see it here on her, or you can add both, a belt. It gives your waist more definition. And then you have an intentional, uh, and then you have the structured pant with it and the blazer. Here you can, this is a perfect example, but you can also add a tee here if that's what, if you're kind of trying to make it a little bit more casual, not so business looking. You can even add an interesting graphic tee here as an example. But the structure reads as intentional instantly. It frames the body rather than covering it. All right, now formula 4, you have the dress plus the finish. Now, if you take the dress just in itself, pretty flat, not interesting. Just looks like, I don't know, not interesting. And then you add the belt plus the bold statement earrings, the strappy heels, gives it interest. The heels could even, be some type of texture, like a faux croc or something like that. Even in this strappy heel, it would give it a lot of interest. So this works because it's styled, not just worn, and the accessories provide the necessary friction. She could even do a necklace here too. That would be nice. All right. So now formula 5, if you're looking at casual set plus elevated anchor. Now you just have the loungewear set flat, not interesting. If you add this structured bag to it, and she added a coat here, which gives it a bit more interest and it elevates the outfit. So matching sets are the ultimate restraint. They require one strong anchor to avoid looking just like loungewear. It does make a difference. Now let's go into the traps. What are we looking at when we're talking about traps? If your outfit starts to feel like too much, it usually is because there's too many focal points. It can almost feel costumey. So if you're looking at a bold shoe, bold pant, statement necklace, pattern scarf, bold hat, bright shoes, some of you, this may be your style, so this is no shade. But if we're talking about elevated styles with a balance, this is not hitting all those points. There are too many focal points. You need to pick the star of the show, and everything must support it. Trap number 2 is unfinished look. Your outfit feels sloppy or boring. There's no example here of that, but I'll just tell you about it. If it's pulling, gaping, or rolling, your shoes match the intention of the vibe. Is there a layer or accessory missing? Is it wrinkled or thin? Just steam it or tuck layers. Those are some examples to take care of sloppy or boring. So the final balance is, when we talked about it, if you're elevated isn't about a body type, it's really about a balance. So you want to identify your anchor and simplify the rest, and just walk out the door and enjoy your day and make it fun. So this is it for today. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this was helpful to help get you on your way to styling yourself in a way that is elevated and fun for you. And I thank you for tuning in live today. I hope this was helpful. Drop a comment if you have if it was helpful and if you got anything out of it. And I will see you in the next one. All right, you guys, have a great day. Bye.